There are a lot of critics to my intel, and they're like, how do you know all of this? Well, number one, I was a psychic child. I was born psychic. I've never been confused. I have the ability to find anything out through dropping my pride and my ego. I have the ability to find out anything that is important. And critics are like, well, how do you know this? James Casbolt did die, the dude you see, not the dude. Just like Kanye West, if I disappear and I come back, it won't be me. It's not him, dude. How do you know all of this? Because there is an authority entrusted in me. There's a responsibility that I have to be like without ego and pride, and I get information. How do you know all of this? It comes naturally because I've always been psychic, because I don't know any different. And these agents and these handlers and all these people, they just don't understand that there is an authority above them. They don't understand there's an authority above them. So it doesn't come without receipts, it doesn't come without evidence. So the last night that I was there, at full disclosure, God told me that the food was cursed. Like they did a curse on the food and that I was to not eat it. So I told a couple of my friends, I was like, God's telling me not to eat the food. And I was like, it will be confirmation if there is an agent that comes around that tries to get me to eat the food. And sure enough, there was an agent that came around that was like, are you going to get food? And I'm a clown, so I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get the food. Don't worry about it. I'm going to get the food. I'm going to eat the food. Don't worry about it. In my head, I'm like, absolutely not, dude. And before they pulled the food away, he's like, are you going to get the food before the food is pulled away? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm going to get that food. Don't worry about it. I'm going to get that food. They pulled the food away. I was never going to eat the food. And there were some like desserts that were left over. And he's like, oh, I got all these desserts. Do you want one? And I was like, yeah, give me one. And I literally placed it on top of my water bottle. And that dude sat there and watched the churro on top of the water bottle. I was never going to eat your food because God told me that you people did something weird to the food the last day of the conference. This is how all conferences go. It's super like I would say it's annoying, but it doesn't matter because I'm always given direction. It's like, don't enter that room, don't eat that food, don't go with those people, don't do that thing. They don't understand that there is an authority above them. And when they recognize it, this is the most beautiful thing of all, is when they recognize it, they start to repent. They start to like change their mind because they had never seen a power greater than the nonsense that they've been dealing with. And a lot of people tend to change their allegiance. They tend to get more benevolent because they were like, I was sent in as an agent to do a certain thing and it didn't work out in a very big way. And when it doesn't work out, like they're like, there's probably something greater. Yeah, dude, there is something greater. I forgot what the topic of the subject was, but hmm, perhaps that's just it. I mean, like the story writes itself. The story writes itself. Like these people think that they're so solid in their cult, in their money, in their groups, in the Mossad agents, like Miles Johnston, Bob Osborne, Mossad, James Casbolt, Mossad. So, like, I profess that's not James Casbolt anymore. People are like, well, how do you know that? Well, I talked to him every day, all day for 4 months, and I understood myself to be talking to Hank Meyer, not James Casbolt. I got James Casbolt 20% of the time, 80% of the time it was Hank Meyer. Well, how do you know that? Because I test the spirit. Because if you ask them, there is no is a spirit of authority. When you ask them, they can't lie. So when you straight up ask, they can't lie. They do make up like word salad like Jester King Brewery. I'm like, these people are, this is just a satanic cult. And this guy went in and he was so awesome. Dude, I love this dude so much. And he was like, I went up to Jeff Stuffings, the owner of Jester King Brewery, and I asked him if he believed, if he was like a Satanist. And he said, I don't worship Satan. And I was like, fuck. I was like, did he put his hands in his pocket? He said, yeah. I was like, okay, they can lie if they put their hands in their pocket. And also, they do word salad saying they don't worship Satan, because Satanists don't worship anybody. They don't worship Satan. They don't worship anybody. They worship themselves. So people can skate around the issue saying like, oh, I don't worship Satan, but they do not worship anybody. And when they put their hands in their pockets, when they hide their hands, they're able to lie. So there's a benevolence in the evil agenda when you call them out like straight out. Just call them out straight out. Sarah Adams came up to me and she was like, what did she say? I don't even remember, but I was like, she was like, you said this about me. And I'm like, yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're a dangerous person. Like, you're a dangerous person. I understand you to be a dangerous person. I mean, what are you going to say to that? I'm like, yeah, I understand you to be a dangerous person. What are you going to say to that? And she's like, well, I'm super successful. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's good for you that you think you're super successful. I mean, good. I mean, I'm not going to fight with you on that. Like, she's like, I'm super successful. And I'm like, I mean, good, okay, great for you. But I'm going to continue to tell everybody that you're a dangerous person. I'm a super successful okay, good for you. Like, I mean, there's no fight. Good for you. You're a super successful person. Great for you. Good for you. Good for you that you think you're successful. I mean, what am I going to say to that? Okay, good for you. You think you're successful. Good for you. That's great. That's great for you. And then there was some like mediator who was like, you should just walk away to her. He was like, you should just walk away. And she walked away like, karma's a bitch, karma's a bitch. And I'm like, well, that's very interesting because the karma is for her, not me. You know, they're inversion wizards. When I came out and said James Casbolt died, naturally I go to Miles and Bob and I'm like, can you like go check on him? And they're like, oh, this is nonsense. But he did die. And then they come out with a video proclaiming that they're Mossad agents. Naturally, obviously, these people can't lie, right? Even considering the Muslim cult I was involved with, the head drone, the cult leader was a female, and he was like, I'm gonna get her on the phone and you can ask her straight up. And I was like, okay, that's great. So he got her on the phone and I asked her straight up, I said, are you a witch? And she hangs up the phone. She hangs up the phone because they can't lie. They cannot lie to you. If you call people out straight up, they cannot lie to you. They can't lie. There is a spiritual law where they can't lie to you. So naturally, chick hangs up the phone because they can't lie. They are not spiritually allowed to lie to you when you call them out specifically on what they're doing. This is why it pays to F around and find out. It pays to F around and find out because the true perpetrators are not allowed to lie. They can't lie to you. If you call them out straight up, straight freaking up, are you a Mossad agent? Straight up, they can't lie to you. Are you a witch? Straight up, they can't lie to you. Are you a Satanist? Straight up, they can't lie to you. They can create some kind of like convoluted answer like, oh no, I don't worship Satan, hands in the pocket. No, because they don't worship Satan, because they worship themselves and they're nonsense people. It pays to call people out when you understand that they are who they are. It pays to call them out because they can't lie. There's a spiritual authority in truth that reigns supreme. It reigns supreme. They can't lie. They can't lie to you. The truth is in the behavioral reaction. Why are these people crashing out? Why are they going crazy? Why are they losing their minds? Why are all these breakups and divorces happening? Because they're not it, dude. Because they're not it. Because it's not working out for them. And it pays to say something. It pays to make accusations because you're going to F around and find out. You know, when I went against the Muslim cult, there was one person who was innocent. And I did make an accusation, and I did it on purpose because I wanted my boyfriend to see the difference between an innocent person and a guilty person. So I made 2 accusations. One of them was innocent, and I knew that. One of them was guilty. So, in the same day, accusation to one, reaction of an innocent person. He needed to see what it appears to be when an innocent person is accused. And I said, thank you. I knew that you were innocent. I accused you, and I knew that you were innocent. Substantially, the other person was guilty. So I said, you needed to see the difference between an innocent person being accused and a guilty person being accused. I knew that dude was innocent. I accused him anyway. Didn't give a shit. I accused him anyway. And you saw what it appears to be when an innocent person is persecuted, accused. You saw the reaction. Very different from a guilty person's accusation. You see the difference in the behavior. This is why it pays to F around and find out. They can't lie. They cannot lie. Everybody go and ask Miles Johnston if he is a Mossad agent. He is. Everyone just do it. Just be like, whatever. Send him a message. Miles Johnston, are you a Mossad agent? Miles Johnston, are you a Mossad agent? Send him a message. Who cares? He can't lie to you. These people can't lie. They cannot lie. There is a spiritual protection over the evil in this world that they cannot lie. So it pays to F around and find out. It pays to be provocative. It pays to stir the pot because they can't lie. Great for us. Good for us. Great for us. Awesome. Like, it's the best thing ever. It's the best thing ever. There is a spiritual authority in the world that is so much greater than all the lies and the corruption and the nonsense. And it's going to be so much better in the long run. It's going to be so much better in the long run. So just do it. Just do it. Who cares? Who cares? Like, literally, who cares? If you ask Miles Johnston if he's a Mossad agent, who cares? Literally, who cares? There's no place for fear. There's no place for condemnation. There's no place for excommunication. If you get excommunicated, guess what? You belong to me now. I'm your new mommy. You belong to me now. Forget these people. This is nonsense. This is insane. This is stupid. This is extraneous. This is like boring. It's boring. It's dumb. It's boring as hell and it's dumb. They are boring me to death. It's boring and it's dumb. So just sorry about ya. Sorry about ya. Be done with it. Go your own way. Do whatever the hell. They're losing their minds. They're crashing out and losing their minds because that's the way God would have it. Because God reigns supreme. That's the way God would have it. And if they can survive that, that's great for them. If they can't, I mean, naturally, obviously, like, told you so, you know? Told you so.